Welcome to Charis Ministries. We're glad you're able to join us today. Our passion is to see people trained, equipped and developing for ministry. You join us for part 2 of a series asking, what is the key to your leadership growth? We looked in the first video that the idea of teachability is the key to leadership growth, to your own leadership growth. But we noticed in Luke chapter 5, the story of Jesus encountering Peter, that actually pride is the thing that can often stop us getting in the way. Pride is the underlying root that makes us not teachable. And in another video, we're going to develop that a little bit more. But I want you to turn your attention for a moment to Matthew chapter 13, which is often called the parable of the sower. But really, I think Jesus is trying to teach us about the parable of the soil. And in it, he likens the different types of soil into our hearts and our willingness and our responsiveness. He talks about different types of soil, and he concludes, the good soil represents the hearts of those who truly accept the message and produce a huge harvest, 30, 60, or even 100 times as much has been planted. I want to suggest to you that actually is about teachability. If we're going to have a harvest, if we're going to grow our own leadership, then teachability, responsiveness is the key to that. But if we're honest, there's a number of things that can stop us in our own hearts. There are a number of things that can be hindrances, if you like, the soil that the seed can fall on. The hardened soil we could describe in our own life as prejudices. We may not think we have them until we're placed in another environment or another culture. I've seen it on my travels. I've seen it in my own life, where suddenly you're confronted with someone that's different or something that's different, and it begins to rise something in you, and you think, I didn't realize that prejudice was actually there. Maybe we need to repent of that prejudice towards a people group, towards a person or an individual. Maybe it raises stuff from our own background. But the soil of our hearts isn't on good grounds, and we find it difficult to receive maybe from certain types of people, certain groups of people, things that we can learn. That's the prejudice of our own heart. The rocky soil maybe has to do with preferences. We all have personal preferences that really are inconsequential. They don't really matter. Whether that's our style of music, some people like jazz, some people like country and western, some people like rock music, some people like classical music. Many of those personal preferences don't matter, but you and I know that they can stop us being teachable in church life. They can stop us enjoying worship. They can cause conflict in people's life. They're the matter of people's personal preferences, and that can be fine until we bring it into the life of the church and our ministry, and our own personal preferences can stop us being teachable. The third area is the idea of the thorny soil. They may to do with our own preoccupations, things that we focus on to the exclusion of others. Are we preoccupied about certain things? So the question that we have to ask ourselves if we're going to grow our leadership is, am I teachable? Many of us would say we are. Many of us would say we want to learn. But let's think about for a moment those areas of our prejudices, of our preferences, of our preoccupations. I want to put up some questions for you that will help you think through some of these things. If you'd like to get in touch and discuss this further, then all my contact details will come up at the end. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in to our next video on growing your leadership and being teachable.